Good morning, good morning, good morning. We made it through another week. I'm so excited this morning. February begins. And we all know in America, that's when Valentine's Day is promoted. I woke up feeling very, very loved this morning. I just wanted to share with you a little bit of information about love, my interpretation of love. Luther Vandross is one of the, in my opinion, most iconic artists of all times. Rest in heaven, Luther. This morning I woke up listening to one of Luther's songs, A House Is Not a Home Without Love. And I listened to it over and over again, and his vocals are just so soothing and smooth. I just enjoyed it. A house is not a home without love. What is love defined? So Webster defines love as an intense feeling of deep affection, a great intent or interest and pleasure in something, an intense feeling. I always refer to something that I heard called fickle feeling. So what is a feeling? An emotional state or reaction, a belief, especially a vague or irrational one. In the Bible, John 15:12, my command is this: love each other as I have loved you. There are countless and countless parables, scriptures, pearls about love. We use the term so blindly that we never really take the time. I never really took the time before this morning to try to break down what is love, L-O-V-E, love. If Webster defines love as an intense feeling of deep affection, and feeling is an emotional state or reaction, especially vague or irrational. So we have an intense feeling, a belief, especially in things that are vague or irrational. That's love. That's defined as love. But also the Bible brings up Luke 6:31. Do unto others as you have it done unto you. That's love. Corinthians, do everything in love. Proverbs 17:17. A friend loves at all times. A brother is born for adversity. I often hear, especially growing up in church, and there's a couple churches called agape love. I want that agape love. And I went through a season where I was really seeking that type of agape love, A-G-A-P-E. But what is agape, D? I'm going to tell you, boops. It's the fatherly love that God has for humans. It's the love that God, our creator, your deity, whatever you believe in, has for you. The love because we're human. Regardless of our race, our creed, our religion, our sexual preference, regardless to what we identify as or with, we're human beings. If you were created and you were conceived and you were carried and you were pushed out, you're human. Steps of a good man are ordered by God. This morning I was also listening to Chandler Moore, Nothing Else. And in the song he talked about the prodigal son. The prodigal son. I'm a prodigal daughter. Prodigal meaning someone who left and came back. Someone who was taught and knows better, but left and came back. The prodigal son was someone who was given a great inheritance. And they left and they squandered it. They got rid of it. They partied, I'm paraphrasing. They got turned up. They gambled. They danced. They brought all this high, expensive, irrelevant things to make themselves feel better. They had an entourage that they were paying and giving money to. The prodigal son. The prodigal son had an inheritance that was given by his father because his father loved him enough to make sure he secured enough assets to ensure that the child did not have liabilities. But the prodigal son, this could preach, took the inheritance of assets and squandered it and made himself a liability to his father. And when the prodigal son returned, his father didn't scorn him. His father didn't yell at him. His father didn't have a family meeting with all the elders lecturing for hours and hours on end. His father embraced him. His father received him. And his father threw a party for him. To me, out of everything I read, that's love. Love is I prepared a place for you. I worked so hard for you. I gave you my best, and you took what I worked for. You took my inheritance and you squandered it. You went and did what you wanted to do, not listening to the instruction that I have given you. Imagine, I'm a mother. I worked my entire life to prepare things for my children, and I give it to them. And in their disobedience, they do what they want to do with it. They weren't a good steward of that resource, and they leave. And I'm worried. I'm crying. I'm praying, Lord, watch over my children. Watch over my children. And then they return. They return broken, laying up with pigs and smelling, I'm paraphrasing, high as a kite, drunk, all cut up and scorned up from the drug abuse and addiction, body all decayed from laying up in prostitution, I'm paraphrasing. They return, bruised from being in an abusive domestic violence relationship, sliced up from doing self-inflicted harm to each other. The prodigal child. And then when they come home, I'm elated initially. Oh my God, my baby's back. But then anger kicks in when you start to hear their journey. Sometimes as parents, we can't even listen to some of the things our kids have gone through because we hurt. Those are our babies. I don't care how old my children get. My son is 24. I still say, little boy. Little boy, go sit down. He looking at me. He's taller than me. Little boy, go sit down. Because at the end of the day, he will always be my little boy. He will always be my child. My daughter, one of them is 21. Little girl, go sit down. And she's taller than me. Little girl, go sit. And then when I get big, little girl, go sit down. You know? Because they're our children. We love them like that. Chandler Moore was singing the song, and the prodigal son is in Luke 15, 11 through 32. I just want nothing else. I want nothing else. I just want you. To me, that's love. Love is when you just want nothing else but that person. You don't care if they smell. You don't care if they're broken. You don't care if they are high. You don't care if they stole from you. You just want nothing else but that person. That's love to me. In 1 Corinthians 13, it talks about love. Love is patient. Love is kind. Does not envy. Does not boast. Is not proud. Humble. Does not dishonor others. Gossip. Criticize. Alienate. Is not self-seeking. Manipulative. Using. Is not easily angered. Didn't say doesn't get angry. Easily angered. You ever be around somebody and everything you do, you pick up a pen, they're like, you pick up a lip gloss, they're like, you pick up a chapstick, they're like, oh my God. Easily angered. That person doesn't love you, boo. That's not love. Keeps no record of wrongs. Doesn't bring up every little thing you did wrong like they're so perfect. We talked about a few weeks ago, the eye. People will find a speck in your eye when they got a plank in their eyes. Does not delight in evil, but rejoices with truth. Does not get excited when somebody's doing bad. Does not get excited when somebody loses their job. Does not get excited when the child doesn't do well in school. That's not love. Love rejoices in truth, regardless of what the truth is. Sometimes the truth is ugly and it stinks, but rejoices in truth. Always protects. Always looking. As a parent, we always look to make sure our kids are okay. Even when they're older, we're looking because we're protective. That's love. Always trust. I can leave money in my house. I can leave jewelry in my house. I can leave my most precious valuable, which is not always something that is expensive monetarily, but it's important to me. I don't think twice. Anybody who comes into my home, you wouldn't be here if I didn't trust you. Love trust. It is always hopeful, it's optimistic. I know you're having a hard day, but I know you're going to do better. I know you just got that poor quality score, but I know you can do better. I know you dropped out of college, but be encouraged. Love is always hopeful that you're going to do better, and it always preserves. They put preservatives in our food in America, especially to extend the shelf life. The preservatives, this could preach, the preservatives in our food aren't always good for us. In fact, it's better to eat organic because the preservatives have so many chemicals to hold the food and make it look pretty because we want to eat it. We're attracted to what looks good. But love preserves. It preserves us. It wraps us in its arms and it holds us. That's love. When your breath stinks, that's love. When you just made a bowel movement and the whole bathroom and bedroom smells like it, but that individual can come in and say, baby, you all right? Your stomach okay? That's love. When you're sick to your stomach and you're vomiting and your hair is covered in it and that person pulls it up and say, baby, let me rub your back. That's love. When you're hungry, you need to be fed. When you just need someone to talk to in the middle of the night. When you can pick up the phone and say, come get me, I'm afraid. That's love. Love. We're going to move past the Webster definition of love, and we're going to stand on more biblical or spiritual or religious principles of love, whatever your belief system is. It's not about me, remember. This is just me, my journey, my core. My core is a Christian, so the Bible is it. But I always reference other books, dictionaries, thesauruses, other spiritual books of the Bible. As long as they don't contradict my belief system, I'm receptive to that information because I want to grow. In your quiet moment, think about this. Who do I love? Who loves me? And do I give that love to that individual that loves me? And sometimes the answer is going to be no, boops. Sometimes the reality is that there's people who love you that you don't feel that way about. But what you can do is be honest, be open, and let them know in love, I know you feel this way about me. And although I appreciate and I value you, I don't have the same feelings towards you. But let's love each other because we're just human beings. Can I give you that agape love? Listen, be blessed, don't be stressed. Thank you for walking with me. Thank you for the journey. Thank you for the constructive criticism. I can take it, y'all. Tell me. If it's constructive, I can take it because I will construct and use it and build on it. If nobody else tells you they love you, I love you. The woman, the wife, to be in me. Oh, I'm receiving that, Lord. Loves you. The mother, the auntie, the friend. Loves you. Be blessed. Don't be stressed. Remember, agape. Just because they're human, just love.